Cascade Hoops Talk is Billy D. It's Wednesday, and today we have Chase Teichmann talking Georgia Gwinnett men's basketball. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAIA basketball. One podcast at a time. So today we're going to have Chase Teichmann. He's the new head men's basketball coach, Georgia Gwinnett College. They are the Grizzlies. Of course, NAIA fans are very familiar with Georgia Gwinnett. They participate at a very high level, multiple NAIA sports. They're pretty successful at everything they compete in, and they now are in men's basketball. They built a beautiful facility. There's a picture there. They call it the Convocation Center. It holds about 2,800 people. We'll give Chase about 2 or 3 games to get the thing completely filled up. But he's got a good roster. Georgia Gwinnett is dedicated to winning. They expect to win at Georgia Gwinnett. And Chase Teichmann has put together a pretty good team. And we're looking forward to it. You'll remember Chase from Florida College, the great teams he had there, anchored by Matt Simpson. He's now up there at Georgia Gwinnett and brings some of that magic with him. Why don't we just take a listen to Chase Teichmann, head men's basketball coach, Georgia Gwinnett College Grizzlies. Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. Hey, I got Chase Teichmann on the phone. He's the head men's basketball coach, Georgia Gwinnett College Grizzlies. Welcome, Chase. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me, Billy.
Well, it's been a while since we talked. You've been getting everything set up down at Georgia Gwinnett. Beautiful Convocation Center ready to go. Just talk about generally where you're at down there and talk about some of the excitement around basketball.
Yeah, our guys are here. They got here at the beginning of August. We started class Monday the 11th. So, starting to feel real. Our campus, kind of like you said, it's really buzzing about basketball. I can't walk to the cafeteria, and I'm sure my guys are the same way. Can't walk to the cafeteria without being asked, when's the first game or when's tryouts. We've got a lot of kids that are just, they just think they can just play on the team because we started a college basketball team. But, it's definitely a talking point on campus, and I surely hope that translates to attendance at games. But it was a long year, but we really like the group that we brought in and like our coaching staff and things like that. So we're ready to get going here.
I talked to you last year when you first went up to Georgia Gwinnett. Talk about how they've treated you and how life has been and how the experience of being the head coach at Georgia Gwinnett has been for you. It's
been great. It's everything that I hoped it would be. Not coaching for a year has obviously its pros and cons. I probably focus more on the cons of that situation, but that's all in the past now. We're ready to go. But the college is amazing. Me and my wife really enjoy living in this area a lot. Got to spend a lot of time with family. Got to be really intentional about recruiting, and got really, really close, even closer with the 4 guys that I brought with me here this past year. I'd already coached most of them before, but so I think spin it into a positive, and Georgia Gwinnett is a really, really cool place. I'm obviously for myself, just so glad they decided to add basketball, but I really think the NAIA as a whole and kind of the NAIA basketball community is gonna be excited about it too, just because it's a college and an athletic department that has so much to offer.
You talked about the ability to be pretty intentional about your recruiting. I know it's a little early to talk about specific guys and what you expect from each one, but just in general, you really focused on bringing in 2 things: guys you could trust, and guys who have been there and bring experience with them. You recruited for today, didn't you? You're not recruiting for 3 years down the road.
Yeah, I think, it's always a little bit of both. It's definitely more of today now than ever, not just here at Georgia Gwinnett, but probably everybody. I think if you look at your roster 4 years down the road nowadays, not that it's a waste of time, but I think you're significantly better, equipped if you're looking at a 1, maybe 2 year deal.
Yeah.
And so, obviously we wanted to hit the ground running and have success right away. And we hope that our team is able to do that. I brought 4 players with me that sat out this year, 3 of which played for me at Florida College, 1 of which was a recruit that we were bringing into that class before I got the job. And then, we actually ended up taking 1 more Florida College guy that played there this year. Mm-hmm. He played for me for 3 years, and he played there this year, so this will be his 5th year. Stephon Martin, we're excited about him, really good locker room guy, knows how we do things. And he's just a great addition to our team. So there's kind of 5 guys I'm super familiar with, and then we did sign 4 other transfers. We got a JUCO guy that was really productive in Tennessee. We've got a Reinhardt transfer, Brayson James, who we really like on the wing. We brought in a big man that was at a D2 and was at JUCO before that. He actually played at Matt Simpson's high school, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and then we brought in another D2 transfer wing that was really, really productive at the junior college level. And then with those 9 kind of veterans I just mentioned, we have 6 true freshmen. So we did sort of see that long-term vision there. And honestly, this area there's just so many good high school kids that I just felt like it wouldn't have been smart to not take advantage of it. And so you fell in love with a couple of them, and we hope that they can make an impact for us, some of them at least, right away.
I want to talk about your facilities. I know that's something you've been really involved with here over the last 8 months, 9 months. You shared some video, and we got to see it going up, and now it's game ready. Just talk about the facility, and first off, just describe it a bit, and then how excited are you, and what do you think games are going to be like in there? Do you think it's too big?
No, I don't think it's too big. I mean, I don't know what the crowd's going to be like. I'm not saying we're going to fill it up, but I don't think it's too big for a small college arena. I think, it seats 2,800. Now that's, probably 4 times what I had at Florida College and what I'm used to. If you can hear that audio in the background, it sounds like they're testing our sound system right now. But
no, it's okay. I'm not picking it up.
Okay. But no, I mean, game day atmosphere, I know our sports information department has a lot of things planned. They hired a director of marketing and fan engagement position this past spring. And, that job is kind of, basketball is kind of that job's baby, is to kind of get that thing going. So, we've got one of those big video boards in there. I don't know how big it is, but it's really large. And then, seating on all 4 sides, and nice rollaway hoops, and it's a state paid for building, and it costed $48 million, and it's 73,000 square feet. So it's a really nice building. Feels incredibly blessed to be able to call it home, and really, really hope that our community and our fans can make it like an amazing home court advantage, because that's what I'm used to, and I think it's one of the coolest things about the NAIA and small college basketball is that home court advantage. And so I'm not going to predict what it's going to look like, but I'm super excited about what it's going to look like.
You and I were talking just before we started, and I've had this conversation with many coaches, but everybody knows I'm an old guy, and in my lifetime I've seen the talent level in NAIA basketball explode. But I think it's really taken new heights in the last, say, 10 years or so, the players and the coaching. Why don't you talk about that a bit?
Yeah, I'm going to just spitball and guess a little bit, because I agree with you. And because, you would think that the talent level at each level might get a little lower because the players are kind of getting poached and kind of dragged up each year. But it just doesn't seem to be the case. And, I just think that with technology and social media just so prevalent and accessible, I just think, with kids being able to watch obviously the NBA players is kind of where it all starts, and they're just insanely talented, and then, the college players are learning and copying those same moves. And I think it trickles down to elementary, middle, and high school, and kids nowadays are just infinitely more talented than they were even just 15 years ago. I mean, I look at guys that I played with in high school that I thought were really good, and they just their bag was just significantly less than guys nowadays, in my opinion. And so I think it's just probably from imitation, right? Like just imitation and practice. And I think coaches are getting better and smarter, and it's awesome that this level. I think there's just a surplus of good basketball players. That's why I think you see such skill and athleticism at the D2 NAIA levels. Just there's just too many good players. They can't all go Division I.
The other thing I've been real happy about over the last few years, I've seen a real push by the NAIA to push the brand, to expose the level not only of basketball, of all the sports, the softball, volleyball, across the board, the level, and not only that, the student athlete. The NAIA has I think kind of a stranglehold on the quality student athlete. I think the NAIA has done and then now they have this contract with Urban Edge, getting all the championships on TV for free. I think they've done a really good job the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I've seen the books or anything, but I feel like the NAIA is almost as healthy as ever. I mean, it seems like, at least from a publicity standpoint, you've got people like yourself and NAIA Hoops Report and, like you mentioned, Urban Edge, and it just seems like the NCAA is kind of everybody's favorite punching bag, and the NAIA just kind of sits back and lets the NCAA take the haymakers and the insults from everybody. It's
That's a good way to put it.
It seems like the NCAA can't win a single court case, and I don't see the NAIA getting sued by anybody. So knock on wood, but I agree with you. I think they're doing a great job, and they do a really good job of promoting the athletics at our level, and they still obviously make it about the student athlete, and I know that resonates with a lot of people.
Speaking of all the various sports, you look at Georgia Gwinnett. You and I have talked about this before, but they win at every if they play, if they're in a sport, they win. What is it like to be in that atmosphere where your athletic programs are all right up there? I mean, everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Cliche, iron sharpens iron. They have signs here and sayings and slogans, that, everything matters. That's one of the things we talk about as a department. Everything matters. And so if Georgia Gwinnett's going to do something, they're going to try and do it right. That doesn't mean it's going to be perfect or amazing, but it's not going to be because of lack of effort or lack of planning. And so, they want their basketball teams to be just as good, if not better, than some of the other sports. And the bar is super high. Another national championship this year. I think women's tennis got it done this year, and baseball and softball both made, the semifinal of the World Series. So it's awesome to have those coaches like at your disposal as colleagues and friends, and to get to root them on. And we hope that their teams, come to our games and support us. And it has been cool, again, having the year off to be able to kind of, I remember me and the baseball coach, we just kind of sat down one day, both brought our computers and just sort of taught the other one and kind of ran the other one through how we view our kind of sport and our teams and philosophies, and, looked at analytics and stuff. And that was really cool for me because that was before his season. And then I got to sort of see it come to light with their season. But, it's really exciting that they do care about winning. They do value winning. It's not the end all be all, but at the same time, like, we don't shy away from the fact that, our job is part of our job is to win games and be competitive at the end of the day. And, our athletic director doesn't shy away from that. And that's not the way it is at all places. I've been at some places where if you lost a ton of games, they really wouldn't care about it. And so different people could view that different ways. I personally like the expectations because they align with my own. So I'm excited about it.
I want to ask you about, Ryan McDaniel. You brought him in as the assistant. He has coaching experience under Sanderson at Faulkner. He was also up at Bethel as a GA with Steve Draben. What does it mean to your program to bring a guy like Ryan in who has had some experience around championship programs?
I'm glad you asked about Ryan. He's been amazing. He got here in the spring. He's done an incredible job. Feel like our relationship couldn't be better. Our players already really like him. He's super organized and detailed. And you mentioned it, you touched on it. He's worked for some really, really great coaches, and he's also played for some really great coaches.
Yeah.
Ryan was at Alabama Huntsville, which is the D2 powerhouse, and got to play for Lenny Acuff, who's now the head coach at Samford. He's a legendary small college basketball coach. And then he played for John Shulman for 2 years, who's now at Central Arkansas. And then you touched on, he worked for Steve at Bethel. Steve's a great coach, and Bethel's, one of the best programs in the NAIA. And then the last 2 years at Faulkner, a little bit different than Bethel, but very, very good program as well. And
a little difference between Sanderson and Draven a little bit, but
yeah, which is good. I mean, Ryan's seen. I mean, there's a big difference between Shulman and Lenny as well.
Yeah.
And they both had a ton of success, as well as Scott and Steve. So he's seen it a bunch of different ways. He's played a bunch of different ways. He's coached different ways, and he's pretty much been a part of a successful program every place he's been. So I think, him having all those experiences and still being pretty young, and then coming here, I think he brings a lot to the table for us. And like I said, our guys have loved him, and I've really liked him. So I'm super excited about what he's already done for us and what he's going to continue to do.
Well, you kicked this thing off. What is it? It's October 23rd. By the way, I really appreciate the invite down there for your opener. I couldn't make it work with some other obligations I already had. But you're going to play Spartanburg Methodist there in the Convocation Center on the 23rd. And then that weekend, you also play Milligan on Saturday. I just want to say to everybody around that Lawrenceville area, you're familiar with NAIA athletics. You know how good they are. And I'm telling you, NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America. It's one of the best venues in the country to watch a basketball game at. You got to get over and watch these Grizzlies. They're going to put on a show. So I hope you get a really good crowd and your season kicks off great, Coach.
Thank you, Billy. That means a lot. I appreciate the plug. We need everybody we can get. And again, you do such a good job of promoting this level. It's almost like you memorized that speech right there. So thanks again. And man, it's crazy. It's almost here.
Yeah, it is. And after we get going, I got to get you back on and we can talk more about it's a lot. It's actually, I mean, this is a good conversation, but it's a lot more fun when you got some W's and L's and some stuff to talk about. We'll have to get you back on when we get this thing rolling. I think it's going to be a pretty exciting season. I'm real anxious to see what the Grizzlies can do.
I am too. We'll see if I haven't forgotten how to do this thing, and hopefully we can win some of those games, and I'll be in a good mood when you call me next time.
Well, Chase, thanks a lot for giving me a few minutes, taking a few minutes and reintroducing yourself to NAIA fans as the new head coach of Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies, and I'll have you on soon. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
That's Chase Teichmann. He's the head men's basketball coach, Georgia Gwinnett Grizzlies. Hey, thanks a lot to Chase Teichmann and also to Georgia Gwinnett College. That convocation center is something else, isn't it? And 2,800 people. I mean, if they put that in, if they can get 2,800 people, they're going to outdraw College of Idaho and Oregon Tech, and that'd be something special if they could get that many people. So anyway, look forward to that season started. Thanks a lot for everybody who listened. We'll be back tomorrow. Keep enjoying your summer, and make sure every morning you check out Cascade Hoops Talk. This is Billy D. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school, because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.